Next chapter is movement. And, clearly movement is pretty obvious. But there's some things that aren't so obvious. Markers, and just to go to the book here, markers like grip strength, foot speed, and the ability to get up and down off the ground without using your hands, all leading indicators of fall risk, are well-known links to all-cause mortality and can be helpful indicators on your movement dashboard. I think those are things that we know, but this was an interesting point that you brought out. Why do we move? Why does any organism move? Biologically, there are two reasons: to move away from threats, things that are potentially harmful and may limit its chances to produce offspring, and to pursue opportunities, things that keep it alive and improve its chances to produce offspring. That's a pretty fundamental breakdown of why we got to move. Mm-hmm. When it comes to preservation of movement, many people aim to simply continue to perform to the narrow task demands of the life they are accustomed to. But it's not the expected and the well-practiced that gets us. It's the slow degradation of capacity that makes us vulnerable to challenges we did not anticipate. If you have exactly enough money coming in to pay your bills every month with nothing left over, no savings, is that financial robustness? Of course not. If your car suddenly needs repairs or you need a new washing machine, you will go broke. It works the same way when it comes to managing the movement capacity of your body. Moreover, most people don't have a real sense of how much is in the account until there's no more money. Better to build a reserve of capacity, a savings account, so if you are called upon for more, whether for emergency or enjoyment, you can meet those demands with vigor. And this is the quote that I had lined out. The human body is an incredible machine capable of continued adaptation for better or for worse. This is the well-trained dog. Your body's a well-trained dog. It's going to do what you kind of told it to do.
Yeah, and this is a point that comes up a lot with guys on the teams, right? Is if you spend 5, 10, 15, 20 or more years essentially turning your torso into a turret, then guess what it gets good at? Being a turret. That's not free. Your rib cage is supposed to move quite a bit, and often with guys, they don't even know that it doesn't move because they can still execute the demands of the job well, very well. But then when something unexpected happens, my shoulder doesn't do that anymore, right? And then you realize like, oh man, I can't put my hand behind my back. And it's like, how are you deploying a parachute? It's like, well, I'm taking my other hand. This is a real story. I'm taking my other hand, I'm grabbing my wrist, and I'm shoving it back there until it gets close. And then I turn and I fling it, and then I grab.
Damn.
And that's how I'm deploying my chute. And I was like, check. Okay, well, that's not okay. So let's reel that in. But those narrow task demands, getting good at them could be that kind of example, but it could also be somebody's slow progress towards decrepitude where they can move a little less and a little less and a little less. And even when we do things right, Sisyphus is still pushing the ball up the hill all the time. So know what's happening. That's the theme, right? Know what's happening, and then make sure that you exercise your body in ways that expose you.
You got a section here called Check the Rig. When I was first developing the curriculum for my check engine light class, I bounced some of the core concepts off my friend and veteran New York City firefighter Felix Manjarres. In addition to his regular duties, Felix is the FDNY Health and Fitness Unit instructor and a training coordinator in the Office of Professional Development. We were discussing the standard operating procedures for caring for the many pieces of equipment that firefighters use in the course of their job: helmet, flashlight, portable radio, hand tools, and so on. This gear check, or checking the rig, ensures that things work how they must, when they must. What I found interesting is that the firefighters check their gear every day, but have no system in place for checking in with their own bodies. A fact that Felix and others in the department are working to change. Like most of us, these firefighters have an implicit assumption that their bodies will just work how they think they should until they don't. So, yeah, we don't have our own little maintenance protocol for the body. You don't have anything to way to check it.
We don't. And, you know, when I talk about this particular topic, and that's actually what I'm discussing with the guys this week, is I use the example of a function check. right?
Yep.
The rifle, right? And that's the basic. Everybody does it. It's on autopilot. So when I ask guys like, hey, everybody in here knows what a function check is, right? And I usually get the like, oh, this fucking guy, look, and then I'm like, great, what is it? And the guys are like, put it on safe, bolt to the rear. And I get like this like eye roll. And I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody knows the steps. I'm like, do you do it when you're already downrange and it's time to go live? Like guys are like, no. I'm like, you don't? When do you do it? Oh, beforehand. I'm like, you do? Why? Well, because we want to make sure it works when we're down there. I'm like, do you do that with your spine, your shoulder? No, it's just an assumption that thing will fire because it's so adaptable. If you develop a function check for your body, it doesn't have to be complicated, but you should have one.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and you go through some of these things that you got: shoulder flexion, hip flexion, overhead pressing, squatting.
Yeah.
And look, you go, and I'm breezing through them, but you give kind of points of performance, what to watch out for, kind of you go through what these function checks would be for your body. And again, I'm going through like the highlights of the book. Can you try new things? The greatest sign of movement literacy and longevity isn't necessarily being good at things in a narrow groove you're into your nervous system, no matter how well you persevered specific capabilities or ranges. Or capacities or ranges. It isn't passing a range of motion, balance, or agility test either. Perhaps the greatest sign is whether or not you can try and learn new things. And I thought this was just cool, something that I need to do more often because I'm a creature of habit. And so I just do the same things over and over again. In fact, I've always had that problem. Like with working out, like my workouts will just be like repeat for months. And that's not good. I know it's not good. And so I'm trying to now incorporate and also to not feel like the goal of today is to beat my last workout, because that's kind of you just walk in, there's like one target on the wall, like you're going to shoot at that target. So the last workout is the last target. I'm going to shoot that target again. Classic, right? Like classic mistake. Instead of being like, oh no, you know what I'm going to do today? Dude, the most random thing, and we're going to go for it. And I need to do more of that because I get in the habit and I follow my own habits. Yeah. And
I do audits. So I'll do like where I will try a specific program that's totally new. So for about 18 months, I was doing Greg Walsh's stuff, the Wolf Brigade.
Oh yeah.
Like the mace work, heavy kettlebells. I did that for about.
I've got Wolf Brigade maces.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're great.
And mace work is fun.
Yeah, it's man. Those things.
And boy, those guys, they're like when you watch him in his videos, like he moves so mechanically, and I always feel like, dude, I do not move that mechanically.
Yeah, there's some ups and downsides to moving that mechanically. I think it can be right under some circumstances, but really good performing athletes often exhibit high variability, but really consistent outcome, so that they get the same outcome over and over and over again, but there's slight changes based on their level of fatigue and the environment and those kind of things. But I did Greg's work for a while because I wanted to explore that, and I got some good results, and then I needed something different and I wanted to change it up. A year is the minimum I'll give to explore a program though. I did about 18 months, and then lately I've been doing more like track and field based work, so sprint prep work and med balls and reflexive eccentric work, and some of that's inspired by friends I have in track and field, and so
just Warner Gunther videos, bro. Just watch those and just figure out what you're going to do with your life.
Yeah, that dude is